What's going on, guys? This is Burrs. I'm here with Nate Murr and Ben are the Grip Stop. We're in the Grip Stop workstation area on your property, and what we're going to do today is upgrade my SPR. Of course, you've seen a lot of videos in the past in relation to the precision rifle that Murr and I built in my kitchen, and what we're going to do is I found some parts I think are going to lighten up a little bit and possibly perform a little bit better. So the first part is a 2A armament M-Lok rail, and it comes with a titanium barrel nut. This is their 15-inch rail. It's one of the lightest rails on the market, and coupled with the titanium barrel nut, it's going to it's 9.6 ounces if memory serves me right, and what I currently have is about 12 total. So you're looking at about 3 ounces of shaving some weight off. And then we have the precision armament muzzle device. So we're going to throw this on and take off the Effin-A that I have on there from Aries Armor. And we're going to put a B5 stock on there. Didn't make shipping, so we don't have it today, but I'll put it on in the future. So let's get started. So obviously the first thing we want to do is clear the weapon, make sure that it's clear, it's safe, right? We don't want to forget to take our bolt carrying group and our charging handle out. Whatever existing handguard you have, you want to remove that. So the next step will be for us to remove the existing muzzle device and our gas block and gas tube so we can expose the barrel nut, so we can remove the barrel nut. There we go. Alright, so we got the muzzle device off, we got the gas block off, so now it's just down to the barrel nut. So this one is not a traditional barrel nut. That means we have to put a flat wrench on it to get it off. Yeah, right? Alright, so let's put that new barrel nut on. Center. So these are on a 45-degree angle. What is your thoughts on that?
Well, it seems like the design is that it butts the forearm up against the receiver. I like that there's only 4 of them too. There's only 4 little set screws you gotta spin, so it makes it a lot easier to take one off the field, I think. Alright, so next is the muzzle device, right?
Yeah, let's read the directions on that mofo.
So let's see where this lands.
So we're going to use this AccuWasher system at Precision Armament. You can get it separately.
So this system is pretty cool, where it's got hash marks on it. It's not colored, it's actually got little hash marks. It's like Morse code. There's heavy bars and there's thin bars. So we're going to try 20 degrees required, so we want AccuWasher number 18, which is 3 heavy hash marks and 3 light hash marks.
Alright, so we're using a 2 hash mark on the AccuWasher system,
which is number 2 AccuWasher.
That's 340.
Yeah,
I think that'll be the one.
That looks close, man. That looks promising. How does that look for alignment?
Pretty good. Why don't you take a gander? Looks pretty close.
Maybe just a little more. How's that look?
I think it's good.
I think so too. So we tried a couple different ones. One for baseline, we were way off, we went bold. So about 5 minutes and 4 washers later, we're dead nuts on. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to put this Atlas bipod onto this rifle, onto the 2A armament M-Lok forearm. And how we're going to do that is we're going to use this prototype Connect M-Lok mount from Kinetic Development Group, right? So this is a project that I had the opportunity to work on with Kinetic Development Group. And what it does is it basically just allows you to lock accessories and pick rail right on your M-Lok handguard and pull it off, right? So if you can see when I put it on the gun, these wings pop out. Since this is a prototype, the wings are a lot larger and they're silver. So on the production versions, it doesn't have that. So all I gotta do is just pop this here on my bipod. Now, I just instantly adapted this Atlas bipod to lock onto Keymod. Instant, right? And then what I can do is I just hit those wings and it pops right off. So once it's on there, it locks on rock solid. I mean, you can go on Kinetic Development Group's website and watch videos of dudes doing pull-ups off this exact mount. So it's pretty robust, pretty strong mounting system. And I think what you're going to see is within the next couple of years, it's probably going to become an OEM thing for a lot of companies. I wouldn't be surprised if Atlas sells a bipod that already has the M-Lok adapter on it. So you don't need a throw lever, you don't need all this additional metal and material. It'll just make your rifle a bit lighter. So we got on paper pretty much where we want to be, pretty close to where we need to be at 25. Now we're going to zero it the rest of the way at 50 meters because that's the confines of the range that we're on today, i.e. my driveway. Alright, so here we are. We are done putting all the parts on. We did a bunch of test firing and zeroed out this optic. We did a video on the tripod. So now we'll go ahead and wrap it up with what we did to this SPR. So what I did was we put the new rail on, we put the new muzzle device on, and the different barrel nut. I did change out the grip. It's a Magpul grip, and we're waiting on the B5 stock. So what are your thoughts on this since we changed it out compared to the way it was initially? Because initially we had the AM-TAC precision rail and an Effin-A from Aries Armor comp. Yeah, I mean that was a good setup. I mean the rifle shot accurately from when we shot it before. I like the weight savings you gain off the 2A armament M-Lok rail. I like that it's M-Lok because that's definitely my preferred system. It allows me to flip my accessories on very easily using whoever's hardware. But like I said, with the Connect mount from KDG, it pops right on, pops right off. I mean, you pop it on right now here. You know, it doesn't get much easier than that. So I like that it's M-Lok, I like that it's lightweight, I like that it's free float. The titanium barrel nut's pretty crazy. I mean, it's super lightweight, but you know, it seems to work well with this rail. It's holding zero, it's hot, we're shooting the gun relatively rapid and we're still getting pretty decent groups with ball ammo. The muzzle device is very soft shooting. Like, to be honest with you, it doesn't feel as much like a 5.56 as it does like shooting a 10.22. Yeah, super lightweight. Yeah, super lightweight. And then the burst 1 to 5 power. This is my first time checking the scope out with this GG&G throw-lever mount. But I really like this optic. It's 1 to 5 power, so you can crank it down low. The reticle's great. It's like a horseshoe style reticle with a center dot, very finite aiming point. The horseshoe's great for speed, especially when I have it cranked down to 1 power. And then with the MRAD turrets here, that's the system that I know the best is MRAD over minute of angle. So once you get dialed in at your preferred range, which I would suggest zeroing this at 100 yards, I would then float my dials. So we flush the dials back up to 0 and 0. So in this case, we got it zeroed at 50 yards, but you'll probably fine tune it at 100 and get locked in for you with your preferred round, whatever cartridge of your choice. And then from there, you can collect data for how many clicks of adjustment you need for elevation going at further range and for wind and everything. So I mean, I think it's a lot of scope for the money. The clarity of glass is amazing for what the scope costs. So I mean, I think this is a good choice, a good optic for a special purpose rifle or a DM style rifle. You can crank it down to 1 power and rock it traditional carbine mode, or you can crank it up to 5 power and make hits at extended distance. So yeah. I mean, it's pretty good versatile build now. Yeah, and that's kind of what I was going for, at least with this. I mean, ultimately, you know, once I get everything dialed in, I'm going to switch it back to like a 3 to 10 or something like that, 3 to 9. But I wanted to kind of test out this. I mean, this is something that's relatively recent where you see a lot of people who are doing that 1 to like 4, 1 to 5, and using that instead of like a red dot. That way you get a little bit more benefit. Yeah, a little bit of weight, but you get the benefit of moving out to longer distances if you want to with more accuracy. But I really like the rail. It really sucked in a little bit. I mean, it's not as big as a rail now. I like the outside diameter. It's very comfortable to hold.
Yeah, I like that a lot. And the fact that, you know, I'm not going to need a suppressor or anything on here, or even if I would, you got like about 3 inches out here on the end. So with it being as tight as it is, it's not a big deal. Compared to like some people who, like with a rail like this, you couldn't put a suppressor on if you had, you know, right up to the butt of the rail, the muzzle. So,
and that's the thing, is like a lot of people, when they add a sound suppressor, they want it where it sleeves inside the forearm,
right?
And it definitely looks cool that way. But the problem with that is you're forced to have a larger outside and inside diameter forearm on your gun. This, I mean, it's definitely too small on the inside to be able to have it couple like that. Yeah. But I mean, that's not important to me. I don't know why. It's an aesthetics thing more than a functional thing. So.
And being 18 inches with 3 inches off of this 15-inch rail, it's really not a problem for me, and that's what I want to do is shrink that down. And in the close-up, if you look at this, there's really no tolerances whatsoever on the inside of that.
It's a tight fit on the inside of the gas block.
It's not tight per se, but it's pretty tight as far as just looking at it. But it's not rubbing or anything like that.
It's not touching.
Yeah, but I really like the way this came out, so we're going to get a bunch of rounds down range, and you'll see more ammo reviews and all that coming up with this gun, being the precision gun I have, and that's all I got. You got anything?
No, that's it for this
SPR 2.0.
2.0.
So if you guys have any questions or anything, let me know. Catch Nate Murr over on Instagram at @gripstop. And if you guys have your SPR builds or DMR builds, go ahead and make a video about it and show us all. Until next time.
You motherfucker! Did you even tighten this? Did you even tighten this?
I didn't put Loctite on.
I didn't put Loctite on it! Wasting my time.